Welcome to the Save Happy Life channel. My name is Dr. Rose M., a guidance and counseling consultant. Thank you for choosing to watch the Save Happy Life channel, where we discuss matters psychology, counseling, and parenting. Today we are in the fifth and the last session of the topic depression in children, tweens, and teens. We have looked at introduction, symptoms, causes of depression, and managing depression in children. Today we are looking at prevention of depression. Remember, during our introduction, we said that depression is a very serious and common mental health issue, and it can be fatal. So the best way to go about it is to prevent. And here we go with 7 points or suggestions on how we can prevent this problem from getting into our children. Number one, when we provide warm parental support, our children are able to go through life without necessarily sinking into depression. Research has it that warm parental systems have children who have warm parental systems have lower chances of getting depression than those who do not have, because parental support lowers the stress levels, the stress hormone levels, and this in turn lowers depression symptoms in children. Number two, according to a neuroscientist by the name Ron Dahl, empathy, that is feeling the other person's emotions, getting into their life, trying to feel how they feel, asking open-ended questions, trying to understand your child rather than to correct them, using kind words, being kind even when their actions do not match their words, meaning they could be developing some lies, supporting their growing autonomy rather than sitting on it, rather than pressing it down, are all possible ways or possible actions where chances of getting depression are reduced. That is, we alleviate depression in our children by showing them that kind of relation, or being in that kind of relationship with them. Number three, encouraging and modeling sessions where we practice mindful self-compassion. This is telling oneself that you love yourself, teaching your child to do the same, practicing smiling at themselves in the mirror, telling themselves they love themselves in front of the mirror and they feel good about it. Reminding and showing the child how to smile at themselves, how to smile at their face or at their image in the mirror, and generally even smiling at them in the house, so that when you smile, a smile begets a smile. And when somebody has smiled, the body gets a feel-good reaction. Some feel-good hormones are released, and these counter possibilities of getting into depression. Then number four, we should get to know our children's friends and peers, because these many times are influencers of depression or in our children. And we should encourage them to choose friends who are positive, friends who have reputable characters, so that the positive influence of their friends rubs off on them, and together they are strengthened, or they strengthen one another. And also we should also take the opportunity as our children grow and they get into these boy-girl relationships, and they call each other nice names, is all manner of names that depict uh, an opposite sex relationship. Sometimes these relationships go south. They go south, and you find a child is depressed. So we should also try to teach them that it is normal to have those relationships, how to carry out those relationships, and also if they go south, how to react. Because we have had children ending their lives when they are teenagers or tweens because their boyfriend or their girlfriend has been seen with another girl or with another boy. Number 5, we should help our children to keep their eye on the prize. This means that if a child wants to become uh, a doctor, a pilot, whatever the goal a child has, let them have the goal in their mind constantly so that they don't deviate, they are not carried away, they are not misled by many other distractors that come along in their life. And one way of doing that is if we can help them to have those goals displayed in the walls where they sleep, so that they keep seeing those images of doctors in a hospital if they want to be doctor, of pilots if they want in an aircraft if they want to be pilots, of drivers if they want to be drivers, whatever the goal is. That constant reminder keeps the mind focused on where the child is going, and that minimizes chances of getting idle, minimizes chances of low motivation, minimizes chances of depression. Number 6, school has been a source of depression for many children, particularly where we are pushing them to perform. And this has been worsened by the COVID situation that we have in 2020, 2021. And for example, in Kenya, where we have shortened or compressed the school terms, has borne very negative psychological effects on our children. And this way, we feel, the children feel that they are compressed in the mind in the school space, where they don't get sufficient sleep, they don't get sufficient play space or living space, sleeping space, and also even diet is not many times the very best for a growing child. So all these combined, and then the pressure to perform from the parents, from the teachers, from themselves, from the peers, from everybody, they all crowd the child's mind, and depression can easily find its way inside a child's life. So in this situation, if we feel that the child's school routine is overstretched, as parents, we have the right to engage the school administration on how it can be changed in the interest of our children and their well-being, their mental well-being especially. And again, parents, we have said again in this channel, we should not sacrifice. We should not sacrifice our children at the altar of academics, where we push them to get A's, where we push them to get B's, and maybe that is not their capacity. So what essentially we should do is we should only ensure that the child is doing their best and the child is happy with what they are doing. Let us not push them beyond their limit, because we stretch them and they break. And when they break, that's depression. Do we want a child who is composed with a C, or do we want a child who is broken with a depression with an A? The choice is ours. really. Number 7, and the last one, is we should get into the habit of first asking our children how school was, rather than asking them, which homeworks do you have? Have you done your homework? Which exam did you do today? What number were you? Those questions are not relevant because we're focusing at the child himself, herself. Find out, how was your school? How did you fare on during the school day, the whole day? Were you well? How were the lessons? Then ask about those other issues of performance, of homework, and all. In the morning, when the child wakes up, find out how the child slept. Did you sleep well? Did you have sweet dreams, or can you remember a dream that you dreamt, or did you have a nightmare? So that the child feels you're focusing on himself or herself, rather than asking, did you finish the takeaway exam? That way the child feels that mom, dad, auntie, uncle, the caregiver, the guardian is more interested in the takeaway exam, in the homework, in the schoolwork, rather than in the child. So when the child now fails to perform what, according to the parent, seems to be more important, the child feels worthless. I did not get an A, so my mom will not like me, my dad will be disappointed, so I'm good for nothing. And now they start withdrawing, they start sinking into depression slowly. So let us parents train ourselves to ask our children about themselves first, and then other issues. For I am not saying in any way that it is not right or important to find out from our children if they have done their homework or if they are doing the exam well. The grades, we need to know, it is important, but those grades are not as important as the child, the person himself or herself. And finally, parents, hugs and more hugs to our children. That is what they need. They want to be hugged, they want to be loved, they want a bosom, they want a chest to come home to, because the whole world out there could be very, very cruel, could be very harsh. And when they come home, they find a loving chest to lean on, they feel at home, and that keeps their spirit going, that keeps them feeling loved, that keeps them alive and willing to live, and joyous, happy, and depression is kept away. Thank you very much for listening to me to the end. Please share. Please give this video a thumbs up. Let me see your comments over this topic of depression, and God bless you. Thank you very much.